And a pleasant good day to you, sports fans. This is John Caparenis with today's edition of A Tip of the Cap. Brought to you by Motor Credit Center, 89 West Marshall Road in McDonald. Well, friends, it looks like good old Mother Nature is back on course. And knock on wood, we've seen the last of winter for a while, a long while. And with the warm weather set to make an extended stay, the area high school baseball coaches are breathing an extended sigh of relief. You know, early spring has to play havoc with a high school baseball program. The workouts are normally confined to the high school gym or some other indoor facility. And folks, there's only so much that you can do inside before the players and the coaches are chomping at the bit to get outside. But with bad weather in the early spring, and you know it as well as I know it, that we've had atrocious weather this early spring, it's tough to get the team outdoors and keep them outdoors. And what's probably as frustrating to the coaches, if not more so, is gearing up the team to play a game and have those games constantly wiped out by rain, sleet, or snow. And if you don't play the game, it's really tough to develop the talent. And you know, we do have a lot of individual baseball talent in this area. And the Mahoning Valley has produced quite a few ball players that have made it to the big time. Just for example, Struthers' Andy Costco, who was one of the solid long ball threats in big league baseball back in the 70s. Or Boardman's Dave Dravecki, one of the best left-handers in the game during his heyday. Or George Shotgun Shuba, the premier pinch hitter on the great Dodger teams of the 40s and early 50s. Or Newcastle's Chuck Tanner, who achieved stardom both on the playing field and managerial ranks. Or Warren's Bill White, one of the best all-around first basemen in baseball, and most recently president of the National League. Or Youngstown pitching products Jack Kralik or Sammy Ellis. Or Faro left-handed fireballer Gary Peters. These are just a few of the ball players who started developing their baseball skills here in the Mahoning Valley. And that list doesn't include Elwood City's Hack Wilson, who still has the Major League record for runs batted in a season, or Waupun, Pennsylvania's Richie Allen, one of the most feared sluggers in the history of the game. But to develop the talent, the players have to get out there and play. And when they can't, everyone gets frustrated, especially the coaches. So if there are any unsung heroes due to our bad weather spring, it has to be all of the area high school baseball coaches. Our tip of the cap to all of the area high school baseball coaches who have persevered through the most trying of circumstances. For in the Radio Center, this is John Caparenis with today's edition of A Tip of the Cap. Brought to you by Motor Credit Center, 89 West Marshall Road in McDonald.
At Motor Credit Center in McDonald, their mission for 1996 is to provide you with dependable transportation at affordable terms. And that promise is true, even if you've had past credit problems and would like to reestablish your credit. This is not a sideline business for Motor Credit Center. It's their only business. Buy and drive the same day with no credit checks. That's the Motor Credit Center promise. Call today for guaranteed credit approval, 530-5821. That's Motor Credit Center, 89 West Marshall Road in McDonald.
Oh, boy. Hi, kids. It's me, Dink the Wonder Slug, the mascot for Uncle Sydney's Clubhouse. Have you heard Uncle Sydney's Clubhouse? Well, I've heard it, and it's great. It's the area's only talk show for kids. Join Uncle Sydney at 11 a.m. every Saturday morning for fun, games, surprises, and who knows, you might even learn something. That's Uncle Sydney's Clubhouse, and if you're really good, you'll get to meet me, Dink the Wonder Slug. Remember, kids, Uncle Sydney's Clubhouse every Saturday morning at 11 here on Real Talk, 1390 AM WRTK. Watch your foot. Ugh.
It's Real Talk with Imus in the morning. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on 1390 AM WRTK Youngstown.
It is 8 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Don Ferguson. After a Wildcat strike at GM Lordstown yesterday, it is back to work this morning. However, those Lordstown assembly plant workers will lose some cash from the 2 weeks they were laid off recently. The Boardman trustees are now set to vote at the end of the month on a proposal for a teen curfew in the township. The 36-year-old Warren man who drove his car into the Niles Police Department and fought with officers has been sentenced to at least 10 years in prison. And the state's approved $4.5 million in grants for low and moderate income housing programs in the state, some of those in our area. Details on those stories and others throughout the morning with Imus in the Morning.
Good morning, everyone. This is Channel 33 meteorologist Stan Boney with 1390 WRTK weather. Skies will be cloudy throughout the day today with light rain or drizzle, maybe even a few wet snowflakes, but only a few. The high today only around 45. Light rain, maybe a little snow early tonight, then the clouds will break up right around daybreak. The low tonight right around 30. Mostly sunny, a pleasant day tomorrow, the high 55, partly sunny and 65 on Thursday, partly sunny and 70 on Friday. With 1390 WRTK weather, I'm Channel 33 meteorologist Stan Boney.
And at 8:01, some light rain and snow coming down, 39 degrees with the wind. It feels like 20.
1390 AM WRTK with Big Board Sports. I'm Channel 33's Bob Hannon. Indians shooting for 5 straight wins tonight as they will be in Minnesota. The road trip continues against the Twins. First time this season over 500 at 6-5. A struggling Oral Hershiser tries to get his act together. He'll be on the mound against Minnesota. The Indians get over 500 by beating Boston 8-0 yesterday. And it was Jack McDowell, first complete game of the season for the Tribe. His first win in an Indians uniform, scattering 9 hits and 9 strikeouts in the victory. Pirates beginning a 9-game road trip, a loser in St. Louis to the Cardinals 6-4. Longtime nemesis Ron Gant hurt him again. Not with the Braves any longer, but with the Redbirds, 4 RBIs, including a 3-run homer. Alan Bennis, the winner, his brother Andy on the mound tonight against the Bucks. Couple of big comebacks in baseball as Colorado came from a 5-run deficit twice to beat San Diego at 11-9. Barry Larkin homered in the 10th inning as Cincinnati beat Chicago 3-2. And in the American League, it was California and Seattle in a wild one where the Mariners were way down. They rallied to win at 11-10. Oakland takes Texas 8-3. Chicago blew a 10-0 lead, then hangs on to beat Kansas City 11-10, and Toronto down Detroit 8-2. High school baseball, Columbiana over East Palestine 7-1. Cavaliers continue their playoff jaunt tonight. They will be in Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Good matchup because the Hawks, the Pistons, and the Cavs all a game and a half back of the Knicks as they battle for the 4th spot in the East. Anybody in that trio can finish 4 through 7. When you look at the Knicks, though, they probably have the lock on number 4 now because they have an easy schedule as they beat Toronto 125-79. Elsewhere, Indiana over Charlotte 90-87. They are now a game behind Miami in the battle for the 8th spot as the Heat beat New Jersey 110-90. It was Seattle winning in Houston 112-106. They clinched the best record in the West, and it was Sacramento 90, Denver 86, and Portland's on a roll. They bury San Antonio 121-97. Magic Johnson 3-game suspension for bumping referee Scott Foster on Sunday. That's Big Board Sports. I'm Channel 33's Bob Hannon on 1390 AM WRTK.
When you believe it's time for a comprehensive, holistic approach to your health, it's time to see the health professionals at the Metabolic Care Center in Youngstown, Sharon, and Greenville. The Metabolic Care Center is a fully integrated service organization devoted to innovative medical care. The MCC has been a pioneer in this area in health maintenance and improvement, a center for excellence in comprehensive patient care. See the Metabolic Care Center at 3000 Belmont Avenue in Youngstown, 81 North Main Street in Greenville, and 32 Jefferson Avenue in Sharon.
Spend a real moment with you and Dr. Laura Schlesinger. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4. But now, it's Real Talk with Imus in the Morning on 1390 AM WRTK.
8:14, 37 degrees. Good morning. I'm Don Ferguson with the WRTK News Update. GM Lordstown workers went back to the job this morning after a one-day Wildcat walkout over the firing of their shop chairman, Al Ali. Under the current contract, GM has the right to suspend or fire workers taking part in a Wildcat strike. One worker talked with Channel 33's Eyewitness News said he was concerned, but not overly worried.
Not really, but I do have concerns about it, So I have to stick with Ali.
Ali released a statement saying the union did not call the Wildcat walkout. He urged workers to go back to the job. Still to come is a decision from the union on whether or not it'll issue a 5-day notice for a legal strike at the Lordstown facility. That could come later this week. GM Lordstown Assembly Plant workers got some bad news yesterday from the Ohio Bureau of Employment Services. The OBES says those workers are not entitled to unemployment benefits for the 2 weeks they were off the job during the strike against GM in Dayton. The state says Lordstown workers had an interest in the Dayton strike, so they will not be getting unemployment. But workers at the GM Fab plant and at area Delphi Packard electric plants will get unemployment. How would you like to reach out and touch a new football stadium in Cleveland? There are reports this morning that AT&T is offering to spend up to $600 million to build a domed stadium in the city. What the company wants in return is the right to name the stadium and a portion of the profits from the operation of the facility. After several public meetings on the issue, Boardman Police Chief Glenn Bowers is recommending to the township trustees that they vote to impose a midnight curfew for teens under 18. The trustees will decide the issue later this month. The 36-year-old Warren man who drove his